What are 40 of the best tips that you can work off of right now to rank in LLMs? I'm recapping a post made by my brother and Coalition's founder and CEO, Joel Gross, who has been leading the SEO game for the better part of 20 years. He made a post covering some basic actionable things which brands can do to rank successfully in LLMs like Google Gemini, Perplexity, ChatGPT, and others. And I'll also call out a few tips relating to some of my favorites and some things that I think need a little more attention. First one is pretty obvious if you've been doing SEO for a long time. Create high quality, comprehensive content. High quality matters because it's more likely to be shared, it's more likely to be cited, it's more likely to be quoted, not only by people encountering your content directly, but also by things like LLMs or search engines running their own AI experiments. Comprehensive is also really helpful because you're more likely to see the nuanced questions and searches requiring more comprehensive answers. LLMs love having these comprehensive articles that really address all sorts of things in one spot. Second thing is use clear, concise language. Try and avoid jargon and complex sentence structures. If you are trying to make a point, aim to communicate that point as clearly as possible. Aim for a little more simplistic reading level. 3 is structure content with headings and subheadings. This improves your readability and allows the LLM to better understand the relationship of certain aspects of the text to each other. It also gives it a sense of priority. Next tip, do try and bring in relevant keywords naturally. Focus on semantic relevance, not just keyword stuffing. If you are talking about a subject like organic pest control, within a paragraph about garden maintenance, talk about some of the kinds of pests. Talk about what's the difference and benefits of organic versus inorganic pest control. Those sorts of semantically relevant thoughts are really beneficial if you want to see your content cited and incorporated into today's LLM experiences. Also, answer common questions directly. I love building in FAQ sections into our landing pages at Coalition. I love featuring them for clients. Pick the most popular, most commonly asked questions that are relevant to that page and then feature them inside of your content. Try and provide factual, verifiable information. If you can, state an authoritative source that it's coming from. Link to them. Cite particular articles or studies that help you sort of know the information that you're quoting. Try and maintain consistent formatting. This is really important, I think, as we navigate more towards the agentic AI future where AI agents are going to be browsing the web for people. When you have weird formatting, weird page structures, you'll see them get lost. Click on random buttons, go back and forth in the browser experience, scroll up and down a page if it can't figure out what the heck is going on because of your formatting. Schema markup is a little bit of a controversial one. We do recommend using schema markup to help LLMs understand your content's context. It's basically a way of defining what this bit of information on the front end of the page is for a computer. That just makes sense, and it's a good practice for SEO. It's also a great practice for LLMs. Now, let's talk about technical SEO and accessibility, our next 7 entrants in how to rank for LLMs. First, ensure you're mobile friendly. We want to make sure that the content does work on all different browser types. This is as much about your user as it is about the actual LLM itself. Part of the reason we recommend mobile friendliness is because we see a future state where the chief interactions with AI and with AI agents happens on phones or other mobile devices. You also look to make your site faster and faster and faster. Site speed is creeping back up as an important feature in normal SEO rankings, and it's going to be a big deal for LLMs. Why is that? Well, one, we know that fast sites are preferred by users, whether they're using an LLM or whether they're using a a social media channel or whether they're using a search engine to find your website, they're going to want speed. On the other side, LLMs and search engines are mega expensive to run. It takes a lot of computing power, a lot of processing power, a lot of storage to aggregate the internet and all of the content that's being produced all the time. They will favor content that is easy for them to find, easy and inexpensive for them to store, and they will feature that content, and they will remove or deprecate content that is just hard to get to and expensive to get to in terms of dollars and cents. At scale, sort of load, weight, and size does matter, so go fast. Use secure HTTPS connections. Again, this just comes back to some best practices for web. Next, keep your site navigation clear. Structure your super header, structure your header, structure your footer, structure your sidebars. Make sure that it's really easy for an LLM to access different pages of your site. This again is just good SEO best practices, but also important again in that future state where we're moving to agentic AI. Clear site navigations will help your content show up and will make it easier for that agent working on your customer's behalf to actually navigate the site. Generate an XML sitemap. In addition to an HTML sitemap, you want to have some place where it's really easy for all of your pages to be found. There's plugins for most content management softwares that are out there to do this. If they don't do that in themselves, do submit it to Google Search Console along the way, but make sure that it is easy to crawl. Make sure that you have instructions pointing out to it. Also, fix your broken links. Clean up your redirects. Don't put yourself in a spot where you're asking a large system like a search engine or like an LLM to have to navigate a whole bunch of redirects. Next up, kind of a content hybrid here. Do make sure you're optimizing image alt text. Do explain what that image is in plain text using that alt tag. This is good for accessibility and it's good for the LLMs. And now here's an interesting area where I think we'll see AI agents really take off for individuals who are hard of sight or maybe have just different abilities that make navigating the classical web a little bit more challenging. An AI agent is going to be a big benefit to them and allow them to do a lot of the same things that other people can do. And that's really, really significant. I think we'll see a lot of really cool use cases here for AI agents in the future. Next up, we want to look at building some things around external presence and authority. This is really a big deal, especially with ChatGPT and some other LLMs are much less democratic than Google. And so they are really fixated on high authority sites, talking about brands that are popular in the mass market. And they're excluding a lot of smaller brands that could have succeeded more effectively through Google. So build those high quality backlinks, make them from reputable websites, get them from relevant websites, get them from popular websites. Do claim and optimize your Google My Business profile. Also do the same thing with Bing Maps. We are seeing that these AIs tend to be really leaning into localization. So you want to have a strong GMB profile, strong Bing Maps entrant as well. Include photos, hours, keep posts up to date, descriptions of your services or products. Get all of that in there. Do be active on your social media. Make sure you're using keywords. Make sure you're linking back to your pages. Make sure you're really sort of creating a strong brand entity using your social media to help cue LLMs about who you are, what you're focused on, what you want to get customers for. Be real plain and real obvious there. Make sure there's a clear connection between those channels. Definitely create and optimize a YouTube channel. Right now we see LLMs stealing a lot of text content, but referring a lot of YouTube videos out. But right now, one of the places where we see AI overviews and LLMs actually doing a little more direct linking and more content features is attached to YouTube. So start making that video content if you're not already. Another strong site to take advantage of, Reddit. Reddit has received a massive boost in market share from Google over the last year and a half. Reddit is becoming sort of the preferred data source for a lot of LLMs. So make sure that you are engaging in relevant Reddit communities. Look at optimizing your own Reddit user. Make sure that you are keeping active. And where appropriate and where respectful of a sub's specific instructions, consider some links out to your particular pages. businesses. Another one, optimize your LinkedIn profile. We see certain LLMs and certain search engines giving some favoritism to LinkedIn. So make the dots really easy for them to connect. Consider making some more frequent LinkedIn posts. Use LinkedIn Pulse to sort of promote content that would be relevant to your audience. You might find that content gets indexed very quickly and starts to show up in AI overviews and LLMs quickly. We touched on this a bit already, but cross-link between your social profiles and your website. Make sure there is this sort of web connecting all of those things together. Next up, seek online reviews and testimonials. We're seeing LLMs wanting to recommend or being trained to recommend sites and businesses that have better reviews. When asked why they aren't referring certain businesses, some LLMs are saying things that are critical, and they're relaying criticisms that came in from reviews. Next, jump in on industry forums and discussions. You got to make yourself and your business an authority and an authoritative resource. So find a way to sort of raise your own profile in the midst of other people in your industry. You'll see that naturally has some good things which attach to it, but really is also a good one for an LLM. All right, next we're going to talk about local citations. Look for those local newspapers, those local bloggers, those local social media influencers, those local directories that talk about businesses in particular cities, states, neighborhoods, by business category. I'm going to keep moving here kind of quickly on our content creation and engagement recommendations. Create those long form guides, develop your own original research and data. This is a really fun one. As you start to build audiences, ask questions of them, run surveys, analyze their data, publish that as original research. Keep your case studies and success stories up to date. We love to share our wins with the public. We have over 800 great case studies here at Coalition and more being added every month. Do create engaging infographics and visuals. Again, stuff that is going to be shared, is going to be linked to, is going to be quoted. This helps to surface some content as being more popular in different channels, and that in turn will help an LLM want to feature that content, even if it's not necessarily directly citing what's inside of the infographic. Produce informative video tutorials. That comes back to sort of the YouTube strategy, actually giving some people some good how-to material, really effective demonstrations, just showcases, unboxing, unwrapping, try-ons, you name it. There's a lot of different ways that you can do this content. Do host webinars and online events. You can get some great audience interactions, which again, just sort of help feed the LLM beast. Do something that sort of ties back to a particular piece of long form content you've published. Take that webinar, make it a YouTube video, break it down into short form content, post it to your social channel. Suddenly you're checking the box on a lot of these different things we've talked about with just one thing. So webinars can be really helpful there. Maintain a blog. Some people are saying blogging is dead, but fresh content does actually do better in LLMs, and it's hard to make all your landing pages fresh all the time. And so blogs can be really, really beneficial there. If it suits your particular industry, consider a podcast or a vlog format as well. This audio and video content can be converted into written text, which then can be published to a page, which then can become social, which can become an email. There's a lot of ways to take a podcast and make it sort of create a flywheel for your content efforts for LLMs. Do offer downloadable resources and templates, things that people will go to that are valuable and unique and distinctive in your space. It's a good way to get a click through from an LLM or a touch through from an LLM. If you're struggling and you're seeing your content showing up in an LLM often, but you're not getting any kind of interaction, build a good resource, build a good template that is likely to be more clickable or click worthy. My last batch of recommendations wanted to recommend that you reach out to local businesses and organizations. Build your own community of connections. Build a partner network of people who are focusing on a similar audience. Collaborate with influencers and industry experts. Participate in local conferences or actual in-person events, places for that video and photography or audio content. Again, and it's hard for someone to replicate those things with AI. So AI is going to increasingly be looking to exclude AI-generated content. Next, maybe offer some guest blogging opportunities. Not necessarily a big strategy we'd recommend for SEO today, but featuring an expert on your website or being featured as an expert on another website really, again, is a great place to showcase your knowledge, your content, but in a place that an LLM is maybe more likely to feature you. That's really a good strategy. We're seeing a lot of experts doing some guest blogging, then showing up in LLMs for for tangentially related topics. And that's been good for their particular profiles. Last two, seek media mentions and press coverage, and then also monitor and respond to online mentions. Take conversations about your business or about your product and make them bigger conversations. Get people talking more about you and more about what you're doing through your way of interacting with some of the online content that's been published around you. Woo! That was 40 different recommendations for you on the LLM ranking front. I hope it's helpful. I hope that you trial some of those strategies and let us know what's working. We want to hear more.